Alright guys, I'm just going to do a little update on the CNC build. Last weekend I didn't get much done because it finally stopped raining, so I spent the whole day going and getting the wood and the drywall and stuff, and I'll show you that stuff in a second. So this weekend I've figured out how to fix these rails, because remember they dip down in the center. I tried a sanding disc, tried sanding the ends down, that didn't work. So what I ended up doing was taking a Dremel tool and cutting the welds, and I found just the right shim that goes up underneath there. And I'm not even going to worry about re-welding it, because these holes that go like right here and the ends where there's metal, I drilled and tapped those. So it's actually drilled and tapped and going to have a bolt holding it. So I figured I don't really need to weld it. And I got those leveled out. So well, this side's done, and I had to do that side yet, but I had to recharge my drill battery. So yeah, that part's figured out and halfway done. The issue with the screw, I've been going back and forth on how to fix that. I really don't want to have a 4.5 inch shim or block. You know, that's a lot of distance, and that's going to create play and is not going to be as exact. So I'm still trying to come up with another solution for that. I'm still working on it. But I've been jumping back and forth on what I'm working on. And so here's the start of the enclosure. And so basically you got plywood and got a layer of drywall. And then I was going to get 2 layers of drywall, but man, I had to load all this shit up and carry it by myself, and after loading up 5 sheets of plywood and 5 sheets of drywall, I couldn't load up another 5 sheets of drywall. So I found this ceiling tile stuff, and it actually has a sound canceling rating. So these ceiling tiles, which are a lot easier to handle and deal with, they actually have a sound dampening rating. These ones I got are 30% sound dampening, and because they're the cheaper ones. But I saw some more expensive ones that were like supposed to be really good for that, but man, they wanted a lot of money for that. So and in all reality, I'm ending up with so let me show you a little more. So I just got, my whole house is full of this shit. I've got this much extra drywall. I've got here's where I made everything, and I used liquid nails to glue the drywall to the plywood. And all the edges, where all the edges meet, I'm going to use window and door caulking, but I'm using the liquid nails to stick it together. And then I'm going to use 2x4 blocks. I got a whole bag of them. So each corner is going to get a block, and in the middle between each corner is going to get a block, and it's going to be screwed. And so I ran into an issue with this enclosure, but I'll show you that in a second. I've had my electronics ready for a while. I put it all on this one board. I got them bolted to it, or screwed to it, and I got some fans to keep everything warm. And I had to repair this power supply, but I was actually able to repair it and get it back working, because it was defective when I bought it. I'm running a a Mach 3 control board, but I will be using Linux CNC, and I bought I've got I forget what these are called, but yeah, I got the card in my computer, and I've got Linux CNC all loaded up on a hard drive, and so all that stuff's been ready. I just haven't really showed you guys. I ordered one of these emergency stop buttons. You know, so yeah, I'm working towards it, but I'll show you the issue I had. Yeah, this is my house, you know, so my whole fucking living room and kitchen is just cluttered, so that's why I'm trying to get this shit done. So the main thing was I was wanting to have it front to back and facing out of this closet. But once I put it in there, you know, this bottom board in there like that, it just stuck out too far into the room. So I decided I had to turn it sideways. So the CNC machine is going to be sideways in here, which requires me to change the whole way that I was going to go about building the door part for the enclosure, and it's causing a lot of headaches and problems. Yeah, it's stuck out too far. I had to put it in there sideways, which kind of sucks, but you know, so I gotta redo and rethink how I'm going to do the door part, and which I haven't really started doing anything towards that anyway, so it ain't like I'm wasted a bunch of work or nothing. So yeah, I'm kind of up in the air on how to do the door, and because I want the door to be able to shut and seal good. I mean, there's no reason to put all this work into building this soundproof enclosure and then have a door that leaks and makes it not even worth all the money I spent, you know. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna put a lot of work into this door and getting it sealed right. I got some of this stuff to go around the edges. Like I said, everything's going to be sealed with silicone, and yeah, I'm just you know, I'm probably ain't going to get to work on this anymore this weekend. I'm going to be piddling throughout the week and this weekend with this enclosure, but I got to work on my brother's motorcycle tomorrow, man. I've got to get that thing done for him for the summer, so he can ride the damn thing. The fucking Hondas, man, it just, carburetor problems just are driving me nuts with them stupid vacuum controlled carburetors and shit. So yeah, I probably ain't gonna get much more done. I'll be piddling with the enclosure, and once the enclosure's done, it's down to installing the last of the screw setups and the stepper mounts. So you know, the one for the main gantry, you've seen it when I had it put together, but the one that goes the Z-axis, well, it's not even on here right now, but it's all installed and works and everything's fine with that. So but that's the only one that's done. I gotta do the Y-axis, or yeah, the Y-axis, which would be the bed. Still haven't done anything towards the screw setup on that, and I gotta do the X-axis, which you see me talking about and stuff. And man, I've been trying to figure out how I want to do this, and I don't know, it's just kind of getting frustrated because everything becomes a big problem. Nothing just happened to fall together really good. So yeah, I'm just showing you what I'm working on with this. And I've been working on side projects too. I'm working on my brother's motorcycle. Today I had to spend a bunch of time working on a machine at work. I do a bunch of cutting and welding on this damn machine. I spent most of the day doing that. I'm working on this project. This is actually the circuitry for a pH sensor for work. And then I've got other projects. Man, I got like this whole line of projects. Where is that circuit board at? Oh, this is a custom circuit board I made for a I've got these, where are they? Is this it? Yeah, these are actually Bosch microchips made by Bosch, and they're to run, you gotta have a special integrated circuit to run a Bosch oxygen sensor. And so yeah, I'll be making my own custom circuit to run a wideband oxygen sensor. And you guys, I don't think I even put it on YouTube, but I'm going to be doing a lot of work to my truck. I'm basically going to make a electronic fuel injection control system from scratch, all from scratch. And then I got a pile of shit over there. I've got like a 10-inch LCD screen that's going to replace my gauge cluster, and then I got a 7-inch touch screen that's going to be my main control spot. And then like I said, I'm going to basically build my own electronic car control system from scratch. And then, well, I got all kinds of stuff for it. But, you know, I start projects and they get pushed off. And I do eventually get to my projects. They might take a couple years. But this is the amplifier for the radio. I'm going to build my own radio from scratch. This is the FM circuit board for it. These are some speakers. And so what I'm doing is my truck has that big old, my souped up 454 in it. It's somewhere close to 500 horsepower, but I want to convert it to fuel injection. So I got this fuel injection set up, and this throttle body and fuel injectors I already have all that stuff. I've had that stuff sitting around, but the first step in that, you know, that's a long-term project, and I'm pretty good about that. You know, I start projects, and sometimes they're 3-year long projects, and I get them done, you know. So that's going to be, because this is a 1200 CFM throttle body, and the fuel injectors are good for 1100 horsepower. So once I get this fuel injection on there, man, I can't get the damn carburetor tuned, because I got this monster fucking cam in it, and the carburetor hates the cam, and that's it just hates the cam. It don't have enough vacuum at idle to run the carburetor properly. So that's why I'm going to fuel injection, and then maybe I might turbo it or something later if I have the money. But, like, you know, money's a little tight. The only way I was able to get the wooden drywall for this was I actually won a scratch-off ticket for $100, and that paid for it. So I've got a Raspberry Pi is going to run basically my gauge cluster control system. So I got this ultra thin TFT screen that's going to go in place of my gauge cluster, and this is a 7-inch touch screen that's going to be my control system. And I'm going to use microcontrollers that I program, and they are going to I'm going to make my own engine control system, and if it goes really good, I might make more and sell them or something. I don't know. I don't even know what I got in here. Oh, that's stuff for that. I got that wideband oxygen sensor somewhere. Either way, I mean, I got a lot of cool projects coming, but you know, I know how to be patient and make the long-term projects work. You know, I still need to take my 3D printer, and I've got a whole new frame for that 3D printer all made, and I just never put it together and swapped it over. Well, I figured out the main problem I was having was this shelf is starting to sag, and that was throwing everything out of level. So I took this board and I put everything on this board, and that fixed the problem. And because of that, now I kind of lost interest in doing the whole big swap over thing, you know, even though I've got everything is completely and utterly ready. But I was wanting to do this little trick here. I was wanting to take two extruders, and I initially wanted to have a servo to make it pull the one not being used up by like 5 millimeters when it's not being used, and switch between them two. But I just don't like using the servos because they're twitchy and stuff, and they just suck. So I'm going to use a what do you call that? Solenoid. I'm going to use some of the mini solenoids, and but I kind of lost interest on this part because I'm wanting to get the CNC machine done and make this thing out of aluminum instead of plastic. So, but yeah, I've got a lot of projects in the works. I even got a laser scanner that I was going to make, and I lost interest in, and man, I just got so much stuff. But the CNC machine is my main concern. So, alright, I'm going to end this video. It's probably getting pretty long. Alright, later.